and he is headed in the right direction. We're very fortunate to have him. I can't wait for him to enter into 7th grade back at the middle school. So congratulations, Orlando, and we'll be accepting this on his behalf. And for our staff member of the month, and I've made this has been a common theme at the end of the school year, but as we do a job and as we grow, we're weary and tired, it takes a lot to kind of dig deep and finish off the year strong. And this teacher here has done that every single day she has shown up. I've worked with her for several years. She is an extraordinary good teacher, hard worker, leader, visionary, Ms. Shelley Sanders. I'm very happy to have you back.
Congratulations. We'll have Ms. O'Neill.
Good evening. First, I'm recognizing our 7th and 8th grade student of the month. Similar to Mr. Medina, I recognize students and staff members this month who have made an impact all throughout the school year. This young woman just graduated 8th grade. She'll be going to 9th grade with us next year in the Dream Academy. She has served on the superintendent advisory since the beginning of the year and has tirelessly advocated for her grade. She's someone who is so strong and never afraid to speak up. We are recognizing Soraya again. Our high school student of the month is a 9th grader. He this year has been recognized as athlete of the month as well. He participated all 3 seasons in sports. He has been on the superintendent advisory committee. He's also on the principal advisory committee. He is someone who makes the right choice all of the time, no matter what is going on. And he has come up with really exciting ideas for next school year. He's been instrumental in helping us figure out that we want to start a school store and also changing our uniform policy. So tonight we are recognizing 9th grader Sean Davis. Okay, last but not least, recognizing our staff member of the month. This person came to me not at the beginning of the school year, but came to me at the middle, right around January, when we were starting our Pathways to Graduation program. She worked with a group of juniors and seniors who were the most critical for graduation. All needed more than 6 classes to graduate. They were in a new virtual program, and we were really trying to figure it out as we went. We had, of the students that we had in there, we succeeded with 94% of them reaching their goal, which is truly a testament to how hard this person worked. She got students to come to school that we hadn't seen from September through January, literally for the first time. She's been my right-hand lady, Ms. Watkins.
Congratulations. Ms. Hope, are you ready for your third?
What?
Are you presenting?
Oh, no. Oh, no. For Griffin Marshall School, for June Student of the Month, they are recognizing Tyrone Sanders. And And for Teacher of the Month, they're recognizing Ashana Pinnock. I'm sorry, I thought I was pronouncing her name. Miss Pinnock. Congratulations, Miss Pinnock.
Congratulations, Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you.
As you know, this time of the year, our school year ended on Tuesday, the 20th. So, fortunately, some of our students have begun their summer vacation. I do appreciate the staff that came to be recognized this evening on behalf of the leadership of your various buildings, as well as again thanking the community organization for coming and recognizing our students. The picture was actually in the poster today, I believe. So again, thank you for your continued support. I believe Mr. Briggs, board member, is also part of that committee. And so that ends my initial presentation, Madam President.
Congratulations to everyone. We need to recap APT meeting.
I do have one other announcement. I would like to thank APTV for live streaming our graduation, which took place on Tuesday, which was in the field for the first time in over a decade, besides COVID. So we do appreciate that partnership and providing that access to the community as well. So thank you.
Dr. Adams, I just wanted to say something about the graduation ceremony, because it really, I mean, I've been on the board since 2017, and a few folks here were there. Never saw anything so like inspiring in terms of the kids and the students, just super enthusiastic, right? Very long keynote speech, but everybody stayed the course, and I thought it was just fantastic. So kudos to everybody that put it together. Fantastic job. I hope we do it in stadium every year.
Weather permitting.
Weather. COVID permitting.
Okay, so we're going to mix up the agenda a little bit. We are going to go into an executive session. So whereas the open public meeting act provides exclusion from discussion at the public portion of the meeting has certain matters as outlined below. Whereas the Asbury Park Education wishes to discuss such matters may and will make such sessions public when proper conclusion has been reached. Now therefore that is resolved that Asbury Park Board of Education will hold a closed executive session on the date June 22nd, 2023 at Asbury Park, New Jersey for the purpose outlined below, which is personal matters and to receive attorney client advice.
Second.
All in favor?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's anticipated that the board will be in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. No formal action will be taken during the executive session. After the executive session, the board will return to this room where we will continue the public portion of the meeting. So about 30 minutes. Thank you.
I'm not. It's about something. I'm trying to get moved. Eighth grade, ninth grade, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. I might go after, so I'll probably go on the intro first. Okay. Yeah. Probably not. Yeah, I got some ideas. I'll but we're not, yeah. Yeah. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, I'll see you later. Gentlemen.
to release the trail mix, the granola bars.
We exactly. Disappointed. I was expecting to be eating right now.
Does it at least taste chocolate? At least it tastes like something.
They're not thinking crazy.
It's funny.
I want to tell my administration. I should take you. Why are they letting me keep it? I mean, have you seen the line of things they're sending in? I mean, my face. Tell me that if I am. You know, I say anything, Mike is gonna if I say anything, forget it. And this was. Okay, I just need to. Good dinner. Say hi to Betty. I'll talk to you. This is really different.
It's easier. Scattered showers. They're like not
Oh.
I was just going through some of my teaching, I guess, when I left my last teaching position, I left it in the closet. Permanently. So I went to that in the airport and they were like, you're not in the closet, you're left it behind.
This bathroom right there. Yeah, it's a single one. Oh, wow. So after the little kids one, regular one.
All of it, development.
I see. No, I follow him on Facebook. And he gets all that, gorgeous, correctly, everybody. Yes. I wish I could meet him earlier on before the careers. It's wrong. I do no pharmaceutical. Yeah. And then I took it to the forest. And we discussed it on that chance and walks and stuff.
I don't know.
That's training. You think that's training? And I can say myself that. So that's good. No, this is good. Crab pop. I'll tell him crab pop when he said how. I saw that. And he's been those consistent. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do this just.
Right.
No, I know, I think I could like smooth through this,
Why not?
but I'd have to be smooth the end.
Everybody. Well, that's a-
Listen, I was worried about that. Sometimes I'm really honest about it later. I was like, I like that. Just asking. That's the one that we're in.
Over there, sit down.
Coming over?
Yeah. That's too hot. Yeah. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Can I please have a motion to come back in public?
Move it.
Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
That's it.
Again.
All right, so what we're gonna do is, a few of the committees did not meet this month, so we're just gonna skip over a few and just go over to Dr. Penna.
So I just wanted to say, because we had our committee meeting, and we went over again the transgender student policy. It mirrors the guidelines provided by the state of New Jersey and by Strauss Esme, and I just wanted to say what's going on in Monmouth County and other board meetings when they are not following the guidelines. Here in Asbury Park, we fully support our transgender students and staff, faculty members, and we also support everyone in the LGBTQ plus AI community, and we always will. So thanks.
We're going to go into public participation before we do, same.
Good evening, everyone. In accordance with Board Policy 0167, the Asbury Park Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and other matters of importance, and provides members of the public with an opportunity to express themselves on school matters of community interest. The public comment portion of the meeting is not a question and answer session, and all public comments shall be directed to the board president or the presiding officer of the meeting. Members of the public who wish to make public comments must be recognized by the board president and provide his or her name, municipality of residence, and group affiliation if applicable. All public comments shall be directed to the presiding officer and are limited to 3 minutes in duration. Members of the public who do not follow the foregoing rules and/or interfere with the orderly operation of the board meeting may be removed from the meeting.
Thank you. At this time, open up public participation, please.
Good evening. My name is Tom Gilmore. I'm Corporate Director for Commerce and Urban Enterprise Zone Program. This is Asbury Park for 15 years. And a family trustee of Asbury Park Music Association. We're here tonight to support West from the Trenton Circus Squad, who's bringing them here. Thank you, first of all, for access use. Your facility to assist that. Right left Asbury Park, that's also invested in like Asbury Park in here for 13 years. When I was position in Asbury Park, I went and worked in Downtown Trenton. I was the executive director of the Downtown Trenton Association and worked very closely with the Trenton Music Circus Squad and utilized them in many of the events that I hosted when I was in Trenton. They're a great organization, nonprofit, and really provides amazing opportunity for children. It's not really a service, it's more of an opportunity for children to come out and really learn about themselves, gain confidence, and really go on to very successful things. I experienced that, we experienced that here in Asbury Park, the Asbury Park Music Foundation, we give musical opportunities to children. It's heartwarming to just watch exactly what happens to these children once they get an opportunity. Circus Squad that is coming to Asbury Park provide opportunities like that, game-changing things for their lives. So as we all know, in the nonprofit world, it's very difficult today to raise money and also to get grants. Tom Van Osen, who is the executive director of Southern Traffic, is running the Circus Squad event there in Camden right now, so he's hopefully getting there in time so we can speak about the organization. But I just want to request that if there is an opportunity, we're here to provide some financial support in the way of some of the fees that they would have to pay to come here. Really appreciate that. It's a very expensive event to bring here. And everything's free in this event. We do charge a fee for some of the general public to come and see the programs. None of the children are charged any fees. And many organizations like Monmouth University still let the children come to perform here at the organization. So I just hope that you might be able to give us some financial support. Thank you. I think I have. First and foremost, thank you very much for this. Let's just thank you.
Good evening, Board President and members of the board. My name is Charles Shapiro. I'm a resident of Hamilton, and I come as a board member of the Trenton Circus Squad to ask that the board reconsider or reevaluate the significant custodial and rental fees that are being charged for organization for our performances. As Tom mentioned, we're here July 20th through July 30th for a series of performances and workshops with the area's youth and other members. We're a small charitable organization, and we're at significant expense bringing our big top tent here at Asbury Park. My top tent is a huge tent that's made actually by the same Circus LA tents. And we're very excited not only to put on performance, but also to have youth come and join for our workshops during the week. So they can experience the joys of learning circus skills and really through that learn about pressing upon themselves their own boundaries and what they can do. I have 3 minutes, so I won't go into all of the studies, but they show that children who have after-school activities that are physical and mentally stimulating, like the Circus Squad, they're less torn from school. Their grades are better. They have better outcomes as far as attendance at college and professional training. And we want for this area to be what we have in Trenton. And the only way we can do that is by bringing our squad here and by showing it in action. Now, the fees that we're being assessed at $15,525 for custodial fees and $3,000 field rental fee. I wanted to just talk about some of the concerns that were shared by Mr. Hastings with our executive director. First, I know that the squad asked for July 11th through July 30th. Performances or workshops are not being put on for that time, so issues such as custodial waste or traffic are not a concern for that initial period. Our hope is that we'll be able to come straight from Camden to Asbury Park, leave certain materials here, but setup won't begin in earnest until potentially the 14th, 15th, maybe the 16th, so that we're ready in time for our performances to begin on the 20th. Additionally, we're going to be responsible for bagging our own trash and waste. We will need help with pickup. We understand that there's no facilities available in the neighboring school. We're going to be providing, as we always do, portable facilities for our own members as well as for any attendees of the performances or the workshops. As Tom also mentioned, this is all free. We're not making any profit or even breaking even on this event. We're doing this out of our own resources in order to bring benefit to the community of Asbury Park. We've had deep ties with this community, in particular through the Lady of Mount Carmel, Boys and Girls Club, the Sisters of Mercy. We have demonstrated a dedication to this community in the hope that one day maybe there will be an Asbury Park Circus squad. I'm happy to stay afterwards or give my contact information so I can be used to discuss this in any greater detail. Thank you.
Sheila Brazil, 1200 Jefferson Street, Asbury Park, New Jersey. Long time listener, graduate Asbury Park. I'm here because it's disconcerting when you go on to Google, looking up certain things on your phone, where they come up that the union take a vote of no confidence on the superintendent of the Asbury Park School District. But you leave the administrator at the high school off. And that's concerning to me. Now I'm going to think it's a black and white thing, okay? And I've been in this district, in Asbury Park, New Jersey, since 1980. I'm from Alabama, so I know what it is. But it is very, like I said, very disconcerting. Dr. Adams, some of the stuff I say, yeah, you do better. But he's been in position for 2 years or less. But some of the people that come up to this podium has been in this district for 10 to 20 years. And our kids, they have been getting a paycheck. Our kids have still not really right on that level. So that means you got paid for a job you didn't do, so you owe the district a refund. Maybe you can say something to other people that really care about our kids, their jobs. But I'm going to leave you with this. God, that was good. Well, let me tell you what it was. Okay. I'm going to tell you, it's not about white power. It's not about black power. It's about black and blue power. About the school district educating our kids. So I hope we can all work together, no matter what color you are, whether you black, yellow, green, orange, purple, with purple polka dots. That we need to come together as a community. Because guess what? If we believe in God, He's the Father, we all believe it. So let's get our shit together and stop playing, educate our kids. You have a good night. It's not, you know who you are. I love you, I love you. But God said, I didn't have to like you because I'm tired of it now.
So at this time. So at this time, I'll close public participation.
Yes, Madam President, we have some emails that were sent to the public comment address. First is from Randy Frucher. Hello, my family are permanent residents on the northwest side of the city. There are no playgrounds in a reasonable walking distance other than Bradley Elementary. Please unlock the playground so the kids can play. Ms. Polly Slidge. Thank you. So Asbury Park Board of Education, it has always been hard for us to understand why in a city with too few play spaces that school playgrounds in Asbury Park are closed after school and off limits on weekends. As a mom of 6 and grandparent of 13, I can attest to the importance of having accessible playgrounds. In Asbury Park, we have large and small public spaces, but with no amenities for play or active social engagement. Existing playgrounds are few and far between in Springwood Park, 2 on the beach, and 1 in poor condition on 4th Avenue. Recognizing the importance of open, active, social public spaces for physical and mental health, many cities and towns are opening school playgrounds which have previously been closed. A recent story on NPR describes schoolyard openings and renovations in Philadelphia and other cities. The Trust for Public Land has helped transform nearly 300 schoolyards across the country. They say this can be done everywhere. When school playgrounds are closed outside of school hours, kids get a message that they don't matter after school. When kids can play off hours on school playgrounds, it fosters a positive relationship with school itself. It's documented that when kids are welcome on school playgrounds, their in-school behavior improves, suspensions are reduced, and academic performance is stronger. The upside of opening school playgrounds are enormous. Opening public school playgrounds is a necessity and a responsibility of the kids of the community. Katie Healy, parent of 2 children in Asbury Park, one about to start at Bradley Elementary next year. I'm bringing the request that the playgrounds at the public schools, elementary schools, and middle school remain open after school hours and on weekends. Kids are still accessing the playgrounds despite them being locked. They're just doing so unsafely by climbing the gate. Asbury kids deserve places to play that are familiar, safe, and accessible. Kathleen Mama, dear members of the Board of Ed, my husband and I are residents of Asbury Park, and we'd like to see the recreation area adjacent to the high school open and unlocked for public use during daytime hours. Kids, teens, and adults in Asbury Park all need more safe outdoor spaces to play, exercise, and socialize. It's a shame that the track football field is kept locked, basketball courts are in total disarray, and the tennis court on lakefront property is used as the Board of Ed's truck parking lot. Please consider opening these facilities to the public during daylight hours. It would be a wonderful asset for the community to access. Diana Pizzette. Dear AP School Board, I'm a resident of Asbury Park and required that the playgrounds at our schools are closed after hours and on weekends. Given the limited number of playgrounds or open space on the west side of town, it's vital for kids' mental, physical well-being to have these playgrounds open after hours and on weekends for them to enjoy. To get outside, be active, and play with other kids. Yes, there are 2 playgrounds at the beach, but they're a long walk from the west side, at least half an hour each way. Also, we residents pay for those playgrounds with our taxes, and thus should be able to use them. We're part of the public good. We don't have children, but I'm a firm belief that the children of Asbury Park should have access to them. Please unlock them. Stephen Everett, dear Board of Ed, as a longtime resident of Asbury Park, I feel we must do everything possible to provide a healthy recreational environment for our children. One simple step is to keep the playgrounds open, especially on weekends. The benefits are clear and it costs nothing. I'm especially interested in opening up the always locked playground in Barack Obama School. The school, of course, has been closed, so this beautiful playground is never used. Of course, I've heard various arguments for the padlocking, usually concerning some sort of liability. I do not agree with those arguments. For example, why is there an ungated playground at the corner of 4th and Act? If grounds maintenance is an issue, I'm certain that organizations such as Mike Kiwanis Club of Asbury Park will step up to the task. Please consider this request. Michael Kushner, I'm writing to you with a question about why the school playgrounds are locked the majority of the week, except for school hours. Every time I walk by these playgrounds after hours or on weekends, they are locked. Hardly a welcoming message to our children, and even more egregious in the city with a lack of public space devoted to kids. Can we please extend the hours of the playgrounds? Holly again from May. As a mom of 6 and a grandma of 13, I know how important it is that kids and families have a place to play and spaces for healthy, fun, social interaction. We have unused, underutilized resources throughout the city on our locked school playgrounds. Playgrounds in AP should be open outside of school hours, weekday afternoons, weekends, and holidays. Christina Wolf, as a resident of Asbury Park and a parent of a child who will, when old enough to attend Bradley Elementary, I respectfully ask that the school playgrounds be kept unlocked and accessible dawn till dusk, as is the practice by towns, cities, and counties. This is also the practice of some other APSD facilities, fields, and courts. This would be a wonderful way to increase the use and enjoyment of these facilities to ensure their costs provide maximum benefit to the greatest number of taxpayers. Contrary to DOE responses provided in the past, there should not be any liability prohibition to expanding the hours of use. Liability is managed through general liability insurance, which the school district already carries for its facilities. It is likely that dawn to dusk use of the facilities is already permitted under existing policy. Towns, cities, and counties across the country manage this risk without issue by carrying a very readily available GL insurance product, including some CYA signage on their facilities. Finally, please note that the City of Asbury Park Master Plan is relying upon these locked playgrounds in its open space, Lakes, Parks, and Recreation chapter. Please see section 5.9.2.2D, which states, the Southwest neighborhood is served by active recreation at the Barack Obama Elementary School and Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School. In some cases, capital has very recently been expended on these nearly brand new facilities, and they are permanently locked. Thank you for considering my request. Mike Kruzek, hello, I'm ready to request that the playgrounds at Bradley and Thurgood remain open after school hours and on weekends. Kids are still accessing the playgrounds despite them being locked. They're just doing so unsafely by climbing the gate. Asbury kids deserve places to play that are familiar, safe, and accessible. Mr. Proctor, please open all playgrounds for use during the weekends and off school hours. There are no playgrounds to walk to anywhere near where we live, near Bradley School. I pay taxes too. All children deserve access to play. Suzanne Marzucci, dear Asbury Board of Ed, Asbury is a unique community, a small city in the suburbs. As a parent of two young adults, I realize the importance of having a safe place to meet friends and play. When my daughters got to the age where they were old enough to be out and unsupervised, the first place they would go to meet friends was the neighborhood elementary school where a playground, basketball court, and soccer and ball fields were located. Children need green space to hang out and play. Asbury Park is becoming a city with limited public green space. Because of this fact, all public properties should be available for community use and should include public school properties. Mark Waters, dear Asbury Board of Ed members, I find it shameful and sad every time we pass a locked Asbury Park School playground. These public spaces should be filled with neighborhood kids having fun with others. Instead, we walk around our neighborhoods, don't see kids outside because they don't have a common, familiar, reliable, and accessible play space to go to. Asbury Park should follow the many communities around the country that have their playgrounds, gyms, and other recreational facilities open in the evenings and on weekends to encourage kids and parents to be healthy and active. Kerry Martin, please unlock the Asbury Park Public School playground so kids and families can use them after school and evenings, on weekends, and during school breaks in the summer. Most families in Asbury Park live in apartments or houses with very little access to the outdoors. Playgrounds are a vital part of kids' mental and physical health. They also serve as places where kids and families socialize, get to know each other, and enrich communities. Playgrounds also need to be consistently open so that kids and families know that it is a familiar place to go to, and that there will be other children playing there at the same time. I can't tell you how many times we have tried to visit Bradley Elementary playground with neighborhood friends and been highly disappointed to find it locked. Children growing up in Asbury Park are going to remember being locked out of the opportunity to play, exercise, and socialize in their neighborhoods. Katie Healy, I'm ready to request the playgrounds at Bradley Elementary and Thurgood remain open after hours and on weekends. Kids are still accessing playgrounds despite them being locked. They're just doing so unsafely. Asbury kids deserve a place to play that's familiar, safe, and accessible. Finally, Justice Murphy, to whom this concerns, I write this email for attention to the public playgrounds of Asbury Park and their current access. I'm a Asbury Park native and former Asbury Park school student. I wish to address the state of our current playgrounds as a public comment, and as means to help this community's parents find opportunities to be able to send their children to their local community's playgrounds without them being locked and restricted from access. May this comment be addressed and brought to the attention of the city in the following Board of Education and City Council meetings. Thank you.
Madam President, those are some very defining letters about these playgrounds. And I've gone by Obama, and it was kind of tragic to see a brand new playground that's sitting there with locked fences. And I also had a community member ask me about the gym that's closed. And, you know, we have a vacant building, and we also talk about the community use. You know, I came from the city of Newark, and basically all the city took a responsibility back in the day to make sure those things were open. And they were recreated what we can do. But I'd like to ask that you ask the attorney where our liabilities are about taking off the fences. Also, do we have to look at security cameras? Do we have to look at what our liabilities and capacity in opening up these valuable spaces to the community and what other towns are doing? And I understand, you know, the liabilities because there's parks. You know, the county has parks, and maybe we also want to look at maybe partner with the county to help us with resources to get these back open. So if we can get a report from the attorney as to what our liability is in opening this, and also talk about do we want to reach out with the county to get resources to help us plan more active spaces and utilize these facilities. I think it is damning that we see beautiful playgrounds that we spend money just sitting there abandoned.
I just want to say, in regards to the playgrounds, I would say, but predominantly the west side of Asbury Park, there's approximately 6 playgrounds. There's approximately 6 playgrounds for every housing building, like Lincoln Village, Asbury Park Village. Each one of those has some sort of jungle gym playground. There's playgrounds throughout the city. When it comes to the school, I can almost understand some of the parents on this side because it's not too much for their kids to have as far as playgrounds and things. But like you said, I think it's really important that we look at a lot of different things, not just the insurance, but after the summer, where does the money come to refurbish? Does that become an issue when it's time to pay taxes and we say, well, now we have to put down new grounds, we have to replace fences when it's climbing? You know, I just want people to be mindful of, you know, no one is saying no. It's just how does it affect everyone? The district, the budget, taxpayers, you know, and maybe this is something that maybe the city can look at, you know, getting a playground over here on the north side, as, you know, families are growing on the north side.
Now, hold on, let me say something. Yeah, I don't know which one of y'all lists this playground thing, but this has been my stance from day one. Like, when I was growing up, there was playgrounds everywhere, there's a basketball court in every school, high school, third grade, Marshall, there's no course anymore. And I'm telling you, that helped shape me into the man I see today. Was out of trouble, gotta, you know what I mean, use my energy in positive ways, and it wasn't as much shootings and everything as there is now. Like now, before these kids are 18, they already got something, and you know, you see it. Like when we had a place where we can play, use our energy positively, and then you had adults in the community who was over there at these sports, they're teaching, they're training, you know, like everything just came full circle. So I feel, like I said, from day one, that been my stance to get these courts back, to get everything back to how it used to be.
I think that's fair, Mr. Freeman. I think it should still be maybe something we should sit down and have a conversation with the city, you know, as far as like helping get other, you know, grounds done for families on this side.
Yeah, like, if it comes down to it, man, I'll help clean up.
Madam President, some of the people that made comments, I had already said something to them about the amount of our playgrounds and fields that are open already. As you know, the high school on the Comstock side is open. There's a gate from the back alley there that you can go and use. The fields where the baseball field and the other field is by the lake. Then we have Bradley Soccer Field is open. And if anybody drives by now, it's open. When school's not in session, it's open until the janitors leave at night. And unfortunately, after the wear and tear of all the years it's been open now, the fence needs to be replaced, and that's quite unfortunately, and somebody actually cut a hole in the fence. So I don't know why somebody would do that when they have access to the property. The whole middle school field is open. All those basketball courts over there behind the middle school, Prospect, I still call it Prospect Avenue, I can't get that out of my head, basketball courts. So if we are to open the young people's playgrounds, you know, Bradley, Thurgood Marshall, and Barack Obama, we're gonna need a camera, some kind of security, because they're right next to the buildings, and it's access to the buildings. So I think that's something we need to consider, if that's the case.
Like, you got families, all right, I'll say it like this, you got families who don't want to let their kids come to the other side of town, that they live on this side of town, closer to the high school or Bradley School or Thurgood, but they're scared to bring their kids to play ball at the Henry courts. Like, you know, it becomes that type of thing. So it's like, the courts over here is separated, and you could just play how you play. You could vibe how you vibe. You don't gotta worry about that. Parents got a peace of mind, kids got a peace of mind, everybody got a peace of mind. Just have fun. But it's not like that anymore. And then now you start to see what happens when you don't have those type of things in place. You have more issues. I know y'all bring that and go off every day. Oh, was that allowed? What was that? Like, I think that, you know, but growing up, it wasn't like that. Yeah, you know, bring that. Yeah. Was that fireworks?
Yeah, we made a suggestion that, if you look at all those aspects and, you know, security, and like I said, I think the county may even have dollars that would help to incentivize more acting. But if we could, ask the attorney to,
Well, we talk about it in the ground, so we have to spend money on the attorney.
I was gonna recommend that,
Yeah.
put a building to ground,
Building to ground.
discussions, then I can, yeah. Maybe one.
No, I'm just gonna say, I'm with Mr. Remy on this. I think talking buildings and grounds and figure something out.
Can we make sure that we put that on the buildings and grounds agenda? Mr. Hastings, feel that to talk about it. The only thing I would say is, we just had a really great meeting with the city regarding the tennis initiative. I won't go into it right now, but I think that's a really great model to see about what resources there are. I agree with Ms. Bay, where even though I think that it should be something that is still school property, in terms of programming, in terms of refurbishment, definitely see the local resources there are for that. So, yeah, if we can make that something to discuss buildings and grounds, that would be great. Thank you, everybody, that wrote that too.
Dr. Christian Albert, the David Board.
Good evening, everyone. For the month of May, there were two HIV allegations. They were both non-found.
We have a motion on A2 for item 12A to redeem minutes. Ms. Lizinski, second by Ms. Cook. Any questions or comments? Ms. Lizinski?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yeah.
Dr. Penna?
Yeah.
Mr. Rennie?
Yes.
Ms. Ricks?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
yes.
Ms. Bay?
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries.
Oh, Madam President, may I interrupt? Just for 1 second, before we start the agenda, I read today in the Coaster, and I wanted to congratulate their middle school soccer team for their championship. I didn't know if everybody knew. I saw it in the Coaster today, nice big article about the middle school and their championship, so I want to congratulate them.
Thank you, Madam President. Ask for consent agenda, all items, E1, 1 through D18, including 3 addenda items.
I'll second it, sorry.
We had discussion. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the meeting that we spoke about before, since it's, part of it's on the agenda as an addendum. We recently met with the City of Asbury Park. We met with Deputy Mayor Quinn, Mayor Moore, Donna Piero, the city manager, and also representatives of the Asbury Park Tennis Initiative. I think it was a really productive meeting where we kind of got back on track, or we're getting back on track in terms of getting the tennis courts up and running in one of the locations that we had previously discovered. One of the 2 locations that we were discussing. One was the area of the Barack Obama School property on Banks Avenue, and the other was looking at the high school again to see if there was a spot there. We instructed Mr. Hastings to speak with the architect to see about an environmental study. Am I saying it right, that it's an environmental study, right?
I would style it more as a feasibility study.
Feasibility study.
To determine, the where and what would be needed, et cetera.
Right. But yeah, I think once, and hopefully this will get the ball moving on getting some tennis courts and programming with the tennis courts for the kids in the community. And really glad to see that that we're going to be, hopefully, everyone votes on it, accepting this donation of $10,000 from the Asbury Park Tennis Initiative to kind of push forward with this feasibility study. So it looks like it would be 3 tennis courts at the Barack Obama School property. It says here as well as the high school, but I think it means for the high school property.
No, actually, Mr. Grillo, if I may, it's to look at the possibility of 3 tennis courts in 2 different locations.
Right.
So for a total of 3, but somewhere, there may be 1 at one location and 2 at another location. So that's the idea. It's not 3 at each.
Okay, that's why I want to make sure it was a little funny, but okay, great. And so I just wanted to let the public know that this is moving. We've kind of reconvened and moved forward, and to get us that much closer to having some refurbished tennis courts.
Thank you.
Can I have some comments real quick on some agenda items? I just wanted to B13 number 24 teacher, and I just wanted to thank Eileen Chapman and the Springsteen Archives for this program. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for our school. B13 number 26, it's glad we're doing another early college program for the students that are college bound. And B1431, I'm glad to see that the cosmetology curriculum is already almost up and running, and the students will be able to take a look at it to make their choices for the next school year.
One last thing on B13. Mrs. Ricks and I went to, Mrs. Ricks and I did a walkthrough of the high school, and during our walkthrough, we actually met Dr. Milou, who's going to be, not Dr. Milou, who was the gentleman's name that is doing LA? Right.
Just mention the staff member, not my.
Yes, okay, no worries. The new person that's going to be
handling allied health, I can say, and I'll speak for Mrs. Ricks, I think she was just as impressed. The allied health program is in really good hands. And I can't wait to see what the kids are going to do with that. Yeah. Thank you.
So all items B1 through B18. Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Ms. Grillo?
Yes, staying on B9 for A.
Dr. Pettit?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Ricks?
Yes, on everything, abstaining. Yes, on everything, abstaining on B9, item number 2. B12, item 21.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers?
Yes, everything except for B6, number 2, and that's it.
Is that abstained?
I'm staying on everything except B.
I'm sorry. I'm going to abstain on that one as well, B6 number 2.
I'm abstaining from B10, number 6B.
Ms. Olson?
That's so nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I forgot that was on the agenda, it was just
Thank you. Motion's carried.
Madam President, just a moment of, first, as you see on the agenda, we've been really working hard to sustain our academic programs. With the addition of the cosmetology program that went from actual theory to application to now hiring a staff member that will begin that program from our initial surveys of our 8th graders going into 9th grade. We have about 40 students that are interested in the cosmetology program, which by far will be surpassing some of our longer standing CTE programs that have been here going on 6 to 7 years. We look at the sustainability of our allied health program, having 11 graduates this year, overcome some of the early obstacles. But I do want to thank the staff that chipped in, particularly the Black Nurses Alliance that came to the board meeting, that provided us some resources, which led to us having a physician come in to help support our students pass the rigorous assessment and exam, to actually hiring a chiropractor who will be overseeing that program moving forward. Again, the belief that all of our students are entitled to these type of programs. To our expanding our early enrollment programs with other universities, Bailey Dickinson, as well as in the final stages of our early enrollment program with NJIT through our engineer and CTE. The other highlight this year is our overwhelming early enrollment of our pre-K students that we actually supported on this agenda. We are opening up 4 additional pre-K classrooms. And if you understand the dynamic of the pre-K enrollment, it is a year-to-year lease. It is a year-to-year contract with those families, from the 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. So for well over 100+ families to sign up and renew their lease with us says that we are doing the right thing here. the additional rollover of our pre-K-4 students into our kindergarten classrooms is another indication that we are doing the right thing here, that our staff are working and that our programs, again, are exceptional. When we look at our full-day kindergarten offerings, again, a few years ago when I was overseeing registration, we had a lot of students that were in our pre-K programs who were not residents of Asbury Park, taking full advantage of a free full-day pre-K program. So we've cleaned up a lot of those things, but those families are committed to what we are offering here. And so I thank you for supporting the staffing, our programs, and the direction in which our district is moving at a rapid but a consistent pace. And our families, when you think about two of our students that were awarded this evening, both of those students are very actively engaged in the Student Advisory Committee, and their voices have been impacted in terms of our uniform adjustments, in terms of the configuration, which is on our website. And that level of student advocacy is something that we continue to promote. And so even those two students that came to the microphone earlier in the year with concerns about the law and public safety, we enrolled those students in a summer program with Harvard University. So all of the focus that we have had and that we continue to promote is being student-centered. We are continuing to improve our process, again, being process-driven and working on being outcome-focused. So we are no longer looking at just being stagnant in what we offer our students, and we will be looking to expand our CTE programs. Again, next year, looking at another technical skill program that will again attract our students and our ever-changing demographics in this community of labor skill and being able to provide them life options into the career college ready. So I thank you.
Madam President, I'd like to present the business agenda with one note that on page C11 at the top, we're going to make a correction to substance awareness coordinator, HIV coordinator. The coordinator is going to be changed to specialist. I would just also note that we have Mr. John Benito, Mrs. Joanne Major Phillips, and Kara Connolly, as well as HIV specialists. With that, could I have a motion for C1, number 1 through C14?
I'll move it.
Where I move C1, number 4, letter A. How many days are you going to use this?
19 days. 19 days.
The application is July 11th through July 30th, and I believe the gentleman mentioned that up until the 20th is report. And from the 20th through the 30th is actual limits.
So the 10th, so the record 10th and everything on the 11th. You know, I know we did discuss this in facilities, buildings and grounds, and I think that a lot of the information, I wish they had come and spoken to us about their program as to considering waiving fees. Because the thing is that I know they had gone to the city, and of course the city does charge, and I'm assuming they had said that when the email went back to Jeff that they were going to be charging $3,000 a day, so that's $57,000 if they were going to use private park. And I'm assuming the city would not waive fees because you have a lot of expenses, and of course, whether they can afford it or not is a new point. So coming to us and using the facilities at the middle school, the 18.5, you're saving $19,000. I know maybe in past years, maybe like 6 years ago or so, when the state wasn't cutting our budget, slashing our budget, because of S2, and taking their money back, yeah, maybe consider waiving the money that, but at this point, we don't have money to replace the fence at Bradley School soccer field, because the kids, people are destroying it, I don't know who's destroying it. And the fact that facility behind the middle school is going to be taken up by an event for 19 days, and the kids are going to be able to use it. And I don't think we can afford at this point to waive fees for everybody who asks us to waive fees. I know it's unfortunate, but we're in a financial crisis in this district, and we're going to see another $6 or $8 million after next year, for a total of $34 million taken from our budget because of S2. So, we have to raise taxes, and this comes out of the tax money, and it doesn't go somewhere else. We need to replace some of the stuff on the high school turf field. We need to replace the little pebbles and redo it. That's going to cost $30,000. This could pay for almost half of that. So I just have a real concern with that. So unfortunately, I'm going to want to waive the fees because of the expense. The janitors have overtime.
Right, and during the buildings and grounds meeting, I said that I can see, and especially now that I heard from the gentleman from the board of the Trenton Service Squad, I'm okay with, because they seem to be to have a whole kind of mechanism in place in terms of cleaning everything up, and they're not going to be using the restrooms in the schools, which was something that we had talked about in buildings and grounds. We said, well, they're going to be using the restrooms and all this stuff and all that. But at the same time, I agree that we can't just waive everything. I mean, I'm partial to waiving just $2,000. Also because it is a nonprofit, and maybe it comes from my experience of being a nonprofit professional for many years, and also because I read up on the program and the impact that it has on the kids. I'd like to see if we could vote, and I don't know how we'd be able to do it, but kind of bifurcate the two fees, so we could vote yes on one, and yes or no on one, and yes or no on the others. Can we do that?
Yeah, so since there's a motion on the table right now for all items, my suggestion would be that whoever makes the motion, rescind the motion. Make a motion to approve everything with the exception of that one item.
Right.
And then for that one item, somebody should make a motion to approve whatever it is that we'd like to approve. So if it's just the fee being $15,000 and nothing further, just make that motion like that. And leave off the part that's not desirable for the board. The one thing I will say, though, and I'm sure this is already vetted through Mr. Hastings' office, is the certificate of insurance that names the Asbury Park School District as an additional insured is a non-negotiable as far as I'm concerned from a liability perspective. So that would be required no matter what. That should never be waived. But other than that, the board is at it, it's the board's pleasure, however you'd like to structure that approval. It's totally up to you.
I know we have to vote on it, but would the board be amenable, Madam President, to do that?
Why don't you try?
I don't feel like it's fair, because we don't waive the fees for the organizations that's here in town.
We do.
All right.
Joe, you have to rescind your.
I rescind my motion.
Does somebody want to make a motion to approve all items?
Can I amend my motion then to
Yeah.
all items accepted?
Thank you, Judge.
I have a motion for all items C1 through C14, except for C14A.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Just congratulations out.
Oh, I have a question. I saw
We
that.
have to vote, we didn't vote yet.
I know, but there's something on there that I didn't understand in terms of Mr. Hastings. As it says here that he was reappointed to a few things, a few positions. my board secretary and things like that.
Yes, so
It's my expectation.
Well, when you,
I'm sorry, I was talking to somebody else. I apologize for not paying attention, Mr. Grillo. But if your question was, is Mr. Hastings still the board secretary? Absolutely, until the fateful day of August 11th.
Okay, just because I saw the dates was. All right. No worries. No problem.
this is all items in the C section except for C14A. Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Zinsky?
yes.
Dr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
Yes, on every, yes, on everything, I'm going, except I'm going no on C1. Number 4, C1, number 4.
That's
Okay, thank you, clarity. Abstaining on C5, item 11, abstaining on C4, item 9, and also abstaining on item 29 on C10, C11.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Osback?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion is carried. At this point, would the board like to amend 4A?
So, I'd like to make a motion to amend C14A to separate the 15,525 from the, which is custodial fees, and the $3,000 for the room area rental fees.
Well, I believe you're going to make a motion to amend to just exclude the rental fees.
Just exclude, right, correct.
So
Waive the rental fees.
just so that everybody's clear, the rental fees total $3,000. So it would be $15,525 flat would be the rental.
And a second.
Second.
Questions, comments? This is to approve 4A with the custodial fees, but not the rental fees. Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Dr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Zinsky?
No.
Mr. Remy?
No.
Ms. Riggs?
No.
Mr. Rogers?
No.
Ms. Osback?
No.
Ms. Cook?
I'm gonna have to go with it.
Motion fails.
Okay, with that, members of the board, because the motion failed, that essentially does not grant the Trenton Circus Squad the ability to use our facility at all. So to the extent that, the way that that motion was made was, it would be $15,000, $15,525 flat, no custodian, that fast. So right now, there is no approval for the request, unless
They
they
agree to pay the 18,520.
Right, so there needs to then be another motion now, right? If you actually want to have the circus squad come to Asbury Park, a motion needs to be made as it's written here. Is that right? I just want to make everybody aware, I want to make everybody aware that as of this moment, they're not coming, but now you're going to make a motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda item as written.
Second. C1 4A as written, Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mrs. Zinsky?
Yes.
Yep.
Mr. Remy?
Wait, hold on. So if we say yes, that means we're waiving their fees?
No, yes.
Also,
The original resolution.
Oh, all right, yeah, they can come. They gotta pay.
Excuse me, the original motion that you're voting on is the approval of the fee waiver.
Also, it's a fee waiver, that's what we're, yeah.
No, wait a minute, I thought it was, we're,
Nah, it says a waive.
I'm not changing my vote to, what's the original one?
It's they can come, but we would waive their fees.
No. They have to pay.
So can I withdraw that motion and I will I'll say it this way. Make a motion to approve Trenton Circus Squad to come and have their event, but having to pay the fees that are stated, custodial and both custodial and rental.
Second.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the board, after conferring with Mr. Hastings, this motion is not necessary because there's already an approval for the Trenton Circus Squad to come here and pay all of the fees. And so to the extent the board is not going to give them the discount, if you will, there's no action for the board to take. Does that make sense?
Yes, stop mixing this up.
I apologize profusely.
I'm gonna abstain from that number.
That's where included business.
Board members, I wanted to make you aware of the item that I placed before you. It was the yearbook as well as the Animals We Love book from Mr. Paul and Ms. Carrera's class from Bradley Elementary School Principal Jackson Byers. I wanted to present that to you all, so you have both the yearbook from Bradley Elementary School as well as the additional book as a culminating year activity. That's it.
Sorry, that is not what we have to go into exec. So whereas the Open Public Meeting Act allows for exclusion from the discussion at the public portion of the meeting of certain matters about the law. And whereas the Open Asbury Park Board of Education was to discuss such matters made and will make such decisions public when proper conclusion has been reached. Now therefore that be resolved that the Asbury Park Board of Education will hold a closed executive session on this date, June 22nd, 2023, at Asbury Park, for the purpose of outlining below. Personnel matters and to receive attorney-client advice.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the public, the board's going to be going back into an executive session for personnel matters. The board will not be taking any formal action in executive session. The board will return to this public session, at which time it's expected that the board will adjourn the public meeting for the evening. It's expected that the board will be in executive session for approximately an hour, perhaps more. And we will return afterwards from executive session to this room, at which time the meeting will be closed.
Yeah, I know.
I'll grab like